Welcome back to Game On Now. Time to look at some of the best players out in Germany and players that have had a huge impact. And one we'll start off with, and just separating him from the rest, is the player of the season out in Germany, Harry Kane. And we speak of Harry Kane because he's had a wonderful goal-scoring career, one of the most famous strikers in the world over the last 10 years. But his first real trophy from a club point of view, it's been a long wait for a man who's contributed a lot to his career.
Yeah, and he had to go to Germany to get it.
Yeah.
You know, that makes all the difference.
So
yeah,
congratulations to Harry Kane for eventually getting it right, yeah?
Yeah, congratulations to him. Yeah, exactly. Eventually getting it right. But as I say, he had to leave the UK and go to Germany to do it, you know. With Spurs, he was never going to win it because they weren't ambitious enough. And he's come to a club that's very ambitious. Top goal scorer 2 years in a row. What more can you say? 26 goals. I mean, yeah, some of them penalties, but it doesn't matter. You still got to put them in the back of the net.
The importance of the first goal in every game can't be overstated in just giving a team like Bayern or Real Madrid's the major powers the advantage over some of the minnows. In 10 games this season, Kane was the first to score and give Bayern the lead. How important is that sort of player? And how important is it to be able to play for that sort of player?
Well, put it this way.
And bring the best out of him.
Put it this way. The manager, the very first player puts on the team is Harry Kane, and you work around that. It's very important, you know, to get on the forward foot and to put other teams under pressure, especially when you buy him, is very important. And he's very good at doing that, and he's very good at taking his chances. So yeah, what a player.
Now, I heard a train of thought that said, I think a year or two ago, that in Germany, they traditionally had strikers, traditional number nines, your Müllers and so on throughout the years, Klinsmann and so on. But of late, Pep got there. False nine becomes fashionable. It was the same in Spain, it's the same in England. And in Germany, they were struggling somewhat for the original number nine in the way of their players they're developing. And that's why guys like Kane are doing so well today, in that Germany is struggling in that regard. Would you agree with that?
Yes and no. You know, you got Fulkrach, that's the big German that plays there. So you know, you can't say that it's done. But yeah, I agree with you. There is a little bit of a depth problem there. But you know, having said that, they'll develop someone and they'll bring someone along. They always do. The Germans always find it.
Now, let's talk other players that have had an impact and that have impressed you this season. Starting off with strikers, one or two others other than Harry Kane.
Well, you know, you got to look at it and say how many strikers are there in that league as such. But there are a few. For me, Harry Kane stood out by far the most. You know, so I don't even mention the other guys. You've got a couple of Bayern, but they play wide. A lot of the other guys all come from wide. So out-and-out strikers got to be only one, Harry Kane.
Wow, that's that's quite impressive for Harry Kane. Is he the type that when you look at him at first time you ever see him play, where you say, wow, this guy's outstanding, or is he one of those surprise packages where over time he wins you over?
Yeah, you know, he doesn't have the pace like most strikers do and big strikers do. So yeah, he's one of those, you know. You got to look at players that play around him. Lisa, another player that you got to look at from Bayern, Musiala. You got to look at all these players, you know. So it's all benefiting him that he's got players around him.
So there you have it. That's Germany, and the one player that's certainly stood out in Germany and who's throughout his career been outstanding, Harry Kane. We take our hats off to him in another successful season, especially from a goal scoring point of view and picking up a medal in Germany. So let's find out more about Hollywood Brits and what they're doing in contributing once again to just sports all around in South Africa.
One thing about former players in our country, they always try to give back to the beautiful game that shaped their lives. Some have foundations that put on great tournaments, while others have gone the academy route. And one such is Kelvin Sosibo. Kelvin grew up in Mlazi in KwaZulu-Natal and went on to join clubs such as Kaizer Chiefs and Maritzburg United, while he also played in Turkey during his professional career. Many of his influences in coaching stem from his time abroad, and he is trying to make a genuine change to our football culture at grassroots level with the help of his good friends at the Hollywood Foundation.
This collaboration comes handy because it's something that we never had. We used to train a post office, a post office in Mega City, and there was a team that is called Umla Center. And one thing that I never appreciated was the fact that you see kids coming with Father Christmas clothes, One is wearing that, one is wearing that, one is wearing that. So now, this collaboration helps the kids to fully identify themselves. If you've seen now what we have done, we've put them according to age, which is black is 7, green is 10, and then you have the 12s, which were blue. My vision about the academy came, again, I'll go back to myself, through things that I've seen that were not being done right. I myself, as a professional that has played locally and internationally, so where I was in Turkey, that's when I realized the importance of an academy and also having people that are qualified to do the job and what are the steps that needs to come about. So my initiative is that get the kids as young as you can, where now you initiate them first and then you teach them technicality and then you teach them tactically. So the steps should not be missed. Let us work on foundation, base it, get to a first brick, second brick, then we can roof it. Where do we do that? 7 to 8, 10 to 11, 12 to 13, and then 16 now, that is where we are more tactical.
Seasoned journalist and Hollywood Bets content creator Velile Mnyandu was present for the kids handover from the Hollywood Foundation and shared just why people like Kelvin are so important to our football ecosystem.
When you look at Kelvin, he's always been someone who's been very close to the game, and his association with the game didn't even start opening an academy like this. If you look back at his coaching, he's always wanted to come with solutions. And this is not just your average academy where you find that he's getting more out of it. He's doing more for the love of the game, and it's also good to see because he's just been busy now with his B license as well. So you can see this is someone who's growing himself in this space of coaching. But also now it's good to see a brand like Hollywood Foundation coming into this space, and you see the association with grassroots football in the country. And yes, maybe you will say this is in a different space that they are doing this, but I think it's more about on the side of the kind of individuals that they are helping to also grow in the space of coaching and also of establishing their own setups.
Massive thanks to Hollywood Foundation for gracing us with their presence and giving us the goodies. We really, really appreciate this. Will go a long way. And I know they're out there. We're trying to make them as visible as possible also. By them coming to us is a sign that we appreciate you guys, and we hope that it's going to be many, many more that will come.
Well, thank you once again to Hollywood Bets for always looking out for South African sportsmen and sportswomen as well. So that makes our show. And as far as Game of this weekend, we'd like to take the time to thank our legends, Jerry Skusana, Shane McGregor. We'd like to thank you at home for joining us every Saturday through the 24-25 campaign. We look forward to seeing you next week. From me, Cesar Mapena, and the rest of the team that is behind the scenes is click, click, bang,